It's so crazy today. Oh my god. That's okay though. Let's roll with it. Yeah, it's the best intro ever. Okay. Hi. Okay, so I asked on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram if you guys had any questions for this Q&A, and I got so insanely many questions, and I'm really excited about that. So I thought as a challenge I would try to sort of answer as many questions as I can in a limited period of time. So instead of having like 10 questions, because I think there's like 110 or something comments on just the Instagram picture, so instead of just having 10 questions I try to answer a bit quicker, and yeah, let's just get rolling. Excited. Ooh, so excited. Okay, so let's start with Facebook. Okay, I will not be answering every single question. I can't do that. It's just so many, but thank you anyways for sending in the questions. It means a lot to me. Okay, I have been a bass player since 2004, and now I want to start on guitar work. What would be the best beginning to start on from your perspective? First off, if you already are playing bass guitar or ukulele or some sort of string instrument, going from one to another is not that difficult because you are already familiar with using, also with playing a string instrument. But my tip is always try to find, this is a general beginner's tip, it's not just for people who has already played an instrument. As a general beginner's tip, I always try to say that find some songs that you really like to listen to, and it can be somewhat difficult songs. Try to be realistic when you're choosing the songs, because if you choose too difficult songs, you won't be able to play them, and you will be discouraged very easily or very early in your playing career. But if you find songs that you really like to listen to, you already have a really close relationship with that song, and it makes it easier for you, or you're more motivated to learn it, and you learn easier and faster. And don't be too concerned with getting everything perfect. Just try to sort of let loose a little bit. Don't read the tab while you're playing. Try to look at your instrument, look in the room. Just try to look as where you would look naturally, not when you're actually doing something like reading or playing, like you are more free. So yeah, try to find some songs that you really like, and try not to focus too much on every single little detail. And yeah, okay, that was a really long answer. I can't have so long answers. Okay, I have seen this question go again and again. Tell us what you think about the new Avenged Sevenfold single, because I'm really curious. You are not alone on being curious about what I think about the new song. And as a first impression, I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit spooky that they're going this way, because they had a weird modulation. Is that what it's called in English? Like when you're playing in one key and then you modulate to another key. They had a bit weird intervals and such in the song that I didn't really get the first times I listened to it, but just the same as Hardwired and Moth into Flame by Metallica, which was also released fairly recently. It turned out I just needed to listen to the song a couple of times, and it also really helped me playing the song, because it's a really fun song to play, and I think they're going for a more heavy sound, and I really like that they're having so close intervals in the songs. Yeah, it took me some time. I'm not really too fond of the sort of acoustic end of the song, but that's just me. I think it's so brutal and so in your face, heavy, awesome that it's not necessary having that ending. But as the whole song goes on, especially the chorus and the won't you wake up part in the, it's a bridge or something, it's really cool. I like it. I like the new Avenged Sevenfold single. How do you play faster? Okay, by playing faster you need to have some patience, because it's easy to think that if you are able to play something and you just play it faster, you will actually be able to play guitar fast. But playing guitar fast is not just speeding it up that certain moment. It's actually building the speed over a long period of time, and we can be talking half a year or 2 years. I'm talking about a really long period of time, and it is a lot of patience. But I have some videos on my second channel where I talk about a metronome tricks, which is so useful. I think that video might actually be in Norwegian. I can try to remake it if it's in Norwegian, I'm sorry. But try to be patient even though you are talking about speed. Do you ever play extended range 7, 8 and 9 string guitars, and no, not too gent? I have considered a 7-string guitar. I think when you're talking about an 8 and 9 strings guitar, it's getting somewhat ridiculous, because you just have so many strings, and I think that a lot of great metal bands, and maybe Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold and Lamb of God are sort of the for my sake, the representative people of that. You can have a 6-string guitar with not too much of a drop tuning. You can have a standard drop D and not having like this drop A slipknot kind of. You get heavy when you're in drop A, no matter what you do. But I think you can get really heavy with really awesome music without having the extra 7-string or 8-string or so. But I have considered a 7-string, but I am not entirely sure. Yeah, I have considered it. I don't know. Let's move over to Instagram. Yay! Hey, have you ever thought about releasing your own music? Yes, I have thought about it. I don't, unfortunately, have that much of my own music. I tend to just make a lot of riffs or make some parts of solos and not just put it all together into one piece of work. But I would release it if I made it. But as for now, I don't have really that much to release, and I think that was a really asked question as well. So, Marshall or Orange, if you could buy a 4x12 right now? Okay, I have never tried an Orange before, and I have heard a lot of great reviews on Orange, but since I have personally played so many different Marshall amps and I feel like they never really let you down, I would pick a Marshall and be really happy with it. But I think it would be cool to try an Orange as well. I haven't tried it really, so it's not really that great of an answer I can give you because I haven't tried both of them. So when I have just tried one of them and I'm happy with that, that would naturally be the one that I choose. But yeah. Do you like Black Sabbath? Yes, I really like Black Sabbath. I think it's really cool to listen to, and I actually have a cover of Black Sabbath planned. It's a little bit down the road. I can move it up if it's really wanted. It's a bass cover of one of the coolest bass songs, I think, when you're talking about Black Sabbath. Yeah, I really like Black Sabbath. Old music is really cool in its own way, and I saw another question, which was metal before or after 2000, and I think that's a difficult question because we are talking about a lot of different music then, because the Black Sabbath is not necessarily thought of as that heavy today, because you have really, really heavy music today. But when you're thinking from the perspective of when it was released, if you don't think that the world after 1970 or whenever it's released actually exists, it's so heavy for its time, and it's just so cool, and I really like the music in its own. But when you think about the oh man, I have the word. Banebrytende. It's so it lays the completely different path for a lot of great music, and I think let's say Metallica, for example, which has music both before and after 2000. I think it's so cool because as they first came along, you have all this awesome music released, which inspired a lot of different bands to exist because of Metallica and because of these heavy old like metal bands, and because of Metallica inspiring those bands, they grow up to make awesome music, and then they inspire Metallica back, and it's just this awesome sort of bouncing back and forth, and I think we're in a really, really great period of music. People are talking about like, oh my god, we have Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj and every of those people, but we need to realize that we are actually living in a great era of music. You just need to find them, because we are also in the era of information. It's just so insanely much information going around in the world at just an instant. On the internet you can drown in information just by the first click on your computer, and I think it's so important to realize that even though these are the ones that all the bigger medias are writing about because of all the wrong reasons, there are still so many great musicians, both as making the sort of more classical music and making heavy music and pop music that's actually quite listenable, and country music and blues, and just everything is still getting made. It's not that the old sort of heavy, laid-back, awesome metal doesn't exist anymore. You just need to find it. It's there, and I just love music, and I think it's so great. And we are living in an era of awesomeness, and miracles can happen, because just look at Guns N' Roses, hashtag not in this lifetime, it happened, and oh my god. If that's not a great era of music to live in, I don't know what is. What is your favorite / hardest part of being a guitar YouTuber? My favorite part is that I have always content to post, because there are again so many great songs, and I will never stop learning songs. As a guitar YouTuber, I will have the opportunity to learn new songs every single week as long as I'm doing this. But again, that is the hardest part about it, because by some songs, as for example, Save Me, which I really want to make a cover of. By making a new cover every single week, I don't have that much time to actually sit down and learn one really technical songs. I have played quite some technical songs on the channel, but as I am also studying 100%, I have this 200% thing going where I post as much YouTube content as I possibly can, but I still can't put all my time into it because I don't have all that time to do it. And the most difficult part with being a guitar YouTuber is when you can't cover some of the songs that you really want to cover because you don't have the time to do it. And I will make the time, but it most likely will be when I'm on vacation or so. And there you go again with when other people are having vacations, I just step up my YouTube game so much more. And yeah, it's kind of a difficult balance, but I really love it. And another question from Instagram was that if I wanted to have YouTube as my job or if I wanted to do something else. And I am working so much to be able to make it as my job because I really love it. I love it so much, and I want to have a degree because I want to have an education, but I do not plan to use my education that much because I really have a dream about being a YouTuber at full time, that I actually can do this as my job. So yeah, I really want to do YouTube as my job, and even though there are some difficult parts about it, there are too many favorite parts about it that I can just go on and on about. So yeah. Do you think you'll ever get a Sustainiac for your Sinister special? No, I will not. Because that would require me to actually drill some holes into the body of the guitar, which are currently not there, and I won't do that. I have considered buying actually a separate guitar with Sustainiac because I think it would be really cool and fun to experiment with Sustainiac. But I will not put the Sustainiac pickups in either one of my guitars because I feel like it would ruin them. So yeah. Okay. Do you like KFC? Because I think is it KFC? I don't know. KFC is the best. KFC, is that Kentucky Fried Chicken? We don't have that in Norway, so I don't know. I hear that it's pretty big in Japan around Christmas, because I had this fun fact thing about Christmas, and I think there was a thing with fried chicken as their Christmas dinner or something, but we don't have that in Norway, so I don't know. Okay, let's go over to Twitter. Do you put names on your instruments? For example, my guitar is called Beth Lucy. I have never actually called my instruments any names or so, but I have this really cute story with the SG guitar that I have, which was sort of my first serious guitar, and me and my mom was on our way to a soccer game, or football game as you would call it, and there was this huge field of just clovers, and I found this 4-leaf clover, which is sort of sign of happiness and luck and everything, and I was like, oh, I need this. I was so happy. It was the first one I found, and it's the only one I have ever been able to find. So I got home and I taped it actually on the inside of my SG guitar, and I think it's still there. Just hold your horses, I need to find it and look. Okay, so here it is. Here's the SG god, it's gorgeous in this light. I really like that you can see the like wood texture through the finish of it. But I taped it inside here and I'm so excited to see if it's still there. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's still there. Oh, that's so nice. And I taped my name on it. And the date, it was the 1st of September in 2011. Oh. So yeah. So no, I don't have names on my guitars. But if I find anything really special, I will actually tape it on the backside of the cover of the guitar. So yeah. Awesome! I'll fix you later. It has all these weird little notes. Yeah. And it has 2 strings. Yeah, I was experimenting a little bit with this one before I put it away. So yeah, it's actually a really, really great guitar. It's really good. Maybe I should start using it again. Okay, so do you celebrate Christmas? Yes, I celebrate Christmas and I love Christmas, and the end of November and completely the entirety of December, you will have no doubts that I love Christmas, and just everything about Christmas is awesome. I love it. So yeah, I celebrate Christmas and I love it. Last question, can you do Eruption by Van Halen? Man, it's a long time since I've played it. I can try to play it now. It's such a long time. Okay, so I'm not sure how the sound is, but I hope it's okay. And bear in mind, I have not played this in probably 5 years or something. It's a really long time since I learned it. Okay, let's try. It's better when you're trying to play something by remembering it. Try not to look at your guitar too much. Part probably because I was so rushed to get to the tapping part. Okay. This is just, you just need to get started and just roll with it. Okay. God. What's there? Oh! many years since I played that, but yeah, it's a really cool solo. It's a really cool solo. And it has tapping in it, which was my favorite technique when I started out. So yeah, that was a lot of questions, and I've had so much fun, and I've filmed so much that my camera is almost full. So yeah, thank you all for the awesome questions, and if there was anything unclear or if you have any more questions, just feel free to ask. And if you have any suggestions for any Metal Sundays, just let me know, and I'll see you next time.